What's good? It's boy CJ Goodfella back before the Sea Lions Talk, and we bringing you the review. I didn't get to the reaction yesterday. I had to work, but I did. I watched some of the game. I ain't gonna front. I was on red zone because I already knew the outcome. You guys know I picked the Ravens. A lot of guys, probably didn't like it, but I was just being honest, and that's my job to keep it honest with y'all and keep it 100. And for the reasons, just basic reason before I get into the review, I said I trusted, the Ravens offense versus the Lions defense more than I trusted the Lions offense versus the Ravens defense. And, and that's what played out, man. The Lions got off to another slow start this week of practice. They were supposed to be working on how to start off faster. And, the Ravens jumped out on them, man. And this Lions team is just tearing like wet tissue at this point. The Ravens had the worst passing offense in the league, and they look like one of the better passing offense in the league. The Lions, mounted to come back late, but just couldn't put it all together. And I'm going to tell you guys, what's the issue with the Lions? Because we seen the game. The issue with the Lions is they don't do neither of the two things that great championship teams do. And they do two things, and they involve the run game. They can run the ball, and they can stop the run. The Lions ain't doing either one of them. Once Nada went out, that was their run defense. For all y'all people who talk shit about Nada, including myself, he showed his worth right here. You have to be able to run the ball. Stafford is not a quarterback that's going to drop back 50 times a game and win the game for you. It's not too many quarterbacks like that. Even Aaron Rodgers need a threat of a run game, and Tom Brady. The difference between Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Matthew Stafford, it's a simple fact that those guys have systems that fucking work. That's the difference. A West Coast system for Aaron Rodgers and whatever, they've been running over New England for the years. They have systems that work. The Lions have to get somebody in there that has a proven offensive system that works, that includes running the ball. Look at the Saints. The Saints try to be still running down. They show it's not working no more. The league has adjusted. They went out and got another running back and finally utilized Mark Ingram, and now they running the ball. Their running backs are the star now. Drew Brees is just a cast member now. The running backs are doing the job, and he's able to play action and make things happen, and they have adjusted. The Lions have never had anybody of serious clout that come in here that knew how to run this organization as far as the head coach. I'm just going to keep it there. They haven't done it, and they show a world-class organization like the Baltimore Ravens, and you see yesterday, they still tick. They still have defense. They in a transition mode, but they still know what they're doing. You see in the Lions, they don't. The Ravens were able to run. They can always rush the passer. That's what they do, and they always can stop the run. You have to be able to stop the run. They might not be the most effective run team in a way, but they run it effectively enough. And that was the difference yesterday. The Lions couldn't stop the run. They couldn't run the ball. If you can't do that, those are the formula for a championship team, the base formula for it. And that's what you don't have in Detroit. You never had that in Detroit since Barry Sanders. Last 1,000-yard runner was with James Stewart. Never going to have that. They have to scrap this whole team as far as the coaching staff. Everybody should be out. I don't care if he just signed a contract. He just proved he's been there for like 3, 4, 5 years, and Jim Caldwell cannot tell you how to fix the offense. He can't tell you how to run the ball or anything of that nature. You know what else they need to do? They need to scrap the whole right side of the line. Rick Wagner and TJ Lane suck monkey balls. Cut bait with them. The Lions still have a ton of cap space next year. And what they need to do is, I like the left side of the line. I like Decker. I like Swanson, Glasgow. Maybe you can find a left guard, but that's somewhere down the list. They need to bring somebody in like Gary Kubiak, to run the ball and bring in a defensive-minded coach. Let Gary Kubiak run the offensive side of the ball. You get a head coach that's a defensive side, the real good defensive coach. And you move on from the rest of these clowns. Terrell Austin, I like him a lot. He's done well. I mean, you can make him the head coach and bring Gary Kubiak to run the offense. But at the end of the day, I would just scrap everything if I'm Bob Quinn. I bring in my own coaching staff. If you want to bring the kid that's over the Patriots, the offensive coordinator who was the Denver coach, if you feel like he's ready to be the head coach again, I'm all for it, man. Josh McDaniels, I'm all for it. If he feels that he can get this offense right and he can be the quarterback whisperer to Matthew Stafford and he can run the ball, but I'm all for a defensive-minded coach and Gary Kubiak running the offensive side of the coach of the ball. You know, you see what Sean McVay done with the Rams. Jared Goff was legitimately the worst quarterback I have ever seen coming to the league, and Sean McVay was able to cater to his strengths, fix him, and now he's a Pro Bowl type quarterback that's on fire. Todd Gurley look human again. You see how coaching can definitely change a culture in the team just like that. And that's what the Lions need to do. They need to change everything, scrap everything, all coaches, training staff, the trash man, just scrap everything and start off from the bottom. Get you Kubiak or get you McDaniels in there. Get you a defensive-minded head coach. Let Gary Kubiak run the offense, or McDaniels be the head coach and he do the offense. And then get you a good defensive coordinator and start building on that defense and get you a running game. That should be the number 1 and 2 priority for the Lions. Build the defense, get you a running game and build the defense. Scrap the right side of that line, man, and get somebody in there that knows how to really run the ball and really knows that can take the ball out of Stafford's hands and make him way more deadlier with less throws down the field. Until that happens, until we stop the run and run the ball, the Lions not going nowhere. Let me know what y'all think.